Alright, my mic should be on. Can you hear me? I'll just give you a minute. I did not mean to do that. What am I doing? That is an excellent question. All the time. Anyway. So this is our to-do list for this evening. I erased all the pieces that I already did. So let's just get started. If I can switch over to the program I want, that would be great. Here we go. So I guess we'll start with this one. This is Jason in his Agrabah outfit. Alrighty, let's choose a smaller pen size, like maybe a 20. Yeah, that'll work. I'm probably just gonna make him seem a touch angrier, because at this point he hasn't fully undergone his character arc. Who am I kidding? He's just started his character arc at this point. Assuming character arc begins with the beginning of the story. So, there we go. I try to sketch in different colors a lot of the time, just to shake it up, you know, have a little variety. It works really nicely in real life, makes a nice effect in your sketchbooks, but it's really hard to photograph well. Either that or I'm just using all the wrong colors in my sketchbooks. So, let's just add his pupils there, and his nose, and a frown. Okay, then we've got the tunic here. And there we go. Because I don't feel like drawing proper hands. You know, I just need to do a bunch of studies of people with their arms crossed. Just because that would make things so much easier. Either that, or I should find a much more cartoony style. Ugh, these hands. Hold on, I'm gonna fix this. I can't keep looking at it. It would work great if I were illustrating a Captain Underpants cartoon, but I'm not. Speaking of Captain Underpants, I watched the first Epic movie last night, and it's not my first viewing of that movie, actually. It's very... they did a good job keeping it in the spirit of the original books. I mean, as I've gotten older, it's gotten a little less funny, but there's still some pretty decent stuff in there. I think one of my favorite lines is when the boys ask Mr. Krupp, "Are you gonna tell our parents?" And he says, "No, obviously your parents are total failures." So, I mean, there's that line. It's, the animation is also really good. I like how they did the character models, where they're very cartoony, but they still have a level of detail that makes them look less like photorealistic textures grafted onto highly cartoonish models. Like, you can't see their individual, you can't see every individual pore in their face, but at the same time, they kind of look more like really well-made sock puppets, I guess. One of the things I noticed about pretty much anyone with curly hair in that movie is that it looks like it was made out of cotton balls. Which was really cool to notice. I'm just going to pull up a reference here so that I can color Jason the way I usually do. I think I have a drawing of him, not in my desktop, in my comics folder. Well, I know I have a drawing of him in my comics folder, but that's not the point. Ah, here we go. I just realized how much their color schemes have drifted since this original piece. It's weird. Let me view background color. I'm gonna give it like a nice sandy kind of color, because I'm gonna blob in some buildings in the background. Depending on how much time we have. I don't remember in the slightest what the colors of everything were supposed to be. Ah! I think the tunic was supposed to be red. Oh well. There's his hair. Take a nice pale blue for his eyes. You know what? I am going to give his skin tone a little more of a peachy hue. Let's see. Maybe not that much. Maybe something like right there. I like this one better. There we go. Let's see. The other line that I really liked in that movie was, one of the kids was the one who tattled on George and Harold, and the kid says, well, someone's got to stand up for the man. And George and Harold say, no one has to stand up for the man. That's the point of the man. Anyway, it was pretty funny. I'm just gonna go over and check the chat and see what's going on. Okay, I might just go back and see if I can find that description. Hold on. Come on. Notes. Oh well, it's taken forever to do what I want it to do. So I'm just going to move on while I wait for that to load. And here we have Zer47 teaching his daughter, Nimu, how to wield daggers. Houdina, no. You can hear it in her meow. She's saying, Houdina, yes. I forgot to lock the cats out of my room. Oh well, too late this time. Alright. What is it, Dudina? Kitty, kitty, kitty. Good, you sit over there. No, you don't. Oh, no, you don't. You're not allowed over here. As if that has ever stopped this cat. But this was a fun scene to come up with. I have realized that I don't draw daggers that much. Much less do I know how someone would realistically fight with them, but I found a few things. So I have young Nemu with Kitty, not with Kitty, but expression of frustration that my cat is still trying to get on my desk. We don't actually have very much in the way of boundaries at this house. Especially not where pets are concerned. They just kind of decide they want to be somewhere and make a point of getting there. Honestly, if I had that kind of determination, I'd be unstoppable. No, you don't. Come on. Sit. There you go. She actually did get up on my desk that time. No. Oh, squirt bottle. Here we go. Been looking for that. Good thing I found it. So yeah, maybe that'll help. It's just filled with water, so she'll be fine. Let's see. Thumb there. I have no idea how to do perspective on Zer 47's hand over here. So, but I decided to have him helping her with her form. You know, keeping her elbow raised, so there's less of an opening for someone to get at her face or something. And then 1, 2. And then raising her other hand so that her strike is more effective. I don't know, it just... It's hard to illustrate something when you don't know how you're illustrating is supposed to work. That's why I have a distinct lack of guns in my artwork. Because I have a vague idea of how they work, but I don't think I could fool your average person. I mean, like, I'm not out to fool some NRA expert, with my illustrations. But you have to at least be able to fool the average person. And it's very clear in my illustrations that I have no idea how do gun work. So yeah. Anyway, see, there's one finger like that, and then she's got her hand like this. Someone who actually knows how to fight with daggers could probably correct me several times over. There we go. Well, it looks like the squirt bottle worked. That is good. I will have to keep this thing where I can find it. Alright, so there's his hand. This needs to be thicker than it was. Oh yeah, I finally added another piece of kneaded eraser underneath my tablet to hold it in place, which is why this is going so much more smoothly than last time. So, I definitely recommend it. I mean, blue tack would probably work better, but I mean, you work with what you got, and I don't have any blue tack. So, let's see. If I like that, and then like that, and fill this in on the layer. There we go. Then we'll add her eyebrows like that. Alright. There's her jeans. And then I'm just gonna mess with this foot because I didn't like the way I drew it anyway. So, here's her other foot. Like so. There we go. Alright, and then I'm not even going to bother drawing the bottom of that. I'm just going to go ahead with this belt thing. And this armor stuff. And there is one leg. And there is the other one. I'm just gonna change the background color and see what's going on in chat and stuff. Okay, let's see what's going on. Those are all good ideas, thank you. Let's see what I've got in my notes. Oh, he was supposed to have sandals. Never mind. I can fix that later. In the meantime, I have other drawings of Zare 47 and Nimue. That one's color is off. Looking for the right reference is hard. This one's color is off in its own composition, but it's actually not that off in terms of the actual colors themselves. So, my teeth are whistling. I can't seem to whistle when I want to. Oh well, enough griping, I guess. There we go. Let's see, what else is there? Never mind, I'm just gonna... keep color picking from this. Here's her pants. Here's her shirt. There's the flower on the shirt with the orange center. There's her shoe. And this. I forgot to add the... Hold on. I forgot to add the purple chainmail stuff underneath the rest of the armor. I'll fix it in a little bit. There we go. Now I'm gonna need a light silver for her dagger blades. And then I'm just gonna go with black for the handles. The handle is obscured there, and then probably also silver for the hilts. These are very stylized daggers. but it was the only shape I really had any idea how to keep consistent, which really just means I need to practice more. And then I'm gonna need a brown color here. There we go. That'll have to do. Then I'm gonna take this color, fill in her eyes. Oh wait, his hands need to be gray. There's the whites of her eyes. And then I can go on this layer and highlight that. Then I can take this bright yellow, fill it in here. And I think that's done. I can go in and just add this detail. That's better. Alright, now I can... What time is it? Yeah, we're about halfway through, so I can afford to spend some extra time on this. I'm just gonna make a new layer. And select across here. Get some kind of greenish colors. That for the light one, and something like that for the dark one. Gradient it out. And then I was on the wrong layer. Okay. Let's try reversing the foreground-background gradient. That looks better. No. This is pretty much the easiest way to do gradiented grass that I could find. And then maybe not quite that dark. I have a wildflower brush, but it never quite looks right on its own. Let's see if I can't rotate this horizontally and then filter blur. Alright, I actually have a blur tool somewhere. Here we go. There we go. And I can take another gradient, and then for this I'm just gonna change my background color to something a little brighter to match the grass. And then maybe a darker version of this color. Nah, not like that. There we go. So I'm just going to save that and see what's going on in the chat. Hey, no need to apologize. What's up? I'm just about to work on this one. I had to actually trace Goofy because I've never drawn Goofy before and I didn't really feel like winging it, so Cap I was a little more confident with just going for it. Okay. I'm actually going to trace Goofy a second time. Just because I do not trust myself. Tracing is actually a very good way to learn. For example, I really exaggerated that curve. And I guess it would have looked alright, but still. I am trying to keep a look that's very reminiscent, more of the cartoons than the game. So hard to draw. But maybe in the future I will be better at drawing Goofy because I traced him so many times trying to get this right. However, I will not be able to trace his arms because they are supposed to be holding his shield. I don't know, I'm going to be using a lot of cheats for this one. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, hat. Tracing is also an important skill if you want to be an animator. Just because a whole lot of animation is actually just tracing. So I'm gonna bring his arm back like this. But for now, I'm going to scoot up and I'm going to actually draw his shield, and then I'm going to perspective warp it into place and then finish the line art from there. I'm such a hack sometimes. Let's see. There we go. Again, it's pretty off model, but off, and then I can take this and just center it a little bit better, maybe make it a touch bigger. There we go. Hold on. Actually, if I do this, I'm gonna want to expand this. And then I can perspective warp into place exactly where I want it. Make it bigger, like that, so that it reads as a bigger shield. And then that is not actually quite as close as I want it to be. I want it to be over here. There we go. Huge cop-out, I know. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I hope this isn't the wrong outfit, by the way. Kingdom Hearts fashion is hard for me to track. Alright. Let's see. And then you can tell that this hand isn't traced because it looks so derpy. But that is okay. I can actually clean this up a smidge. And move it to be more in line with the sketch. There we go. Alrighty, there's that. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. That's what I forgot in between streams. I forgot to take some emergency. Oh well. Maybe from here I can trace less. Just because I don't actually like tracing that much. Alright, and then he's got his shirt that comes down like that. And pants like so. That looks weird. That also looks weird, but this time I'm just gonna roll with it. And then trace the eyes like this. And then add highlights like that. That should be good. On to Captain America now. If the first thing I do is actually merge Goofy all together. Captain America's shield is not quite as hard for me to draw because I'm pretty sure I've drawn it before. It may not be quite exactly like it was originally, but I'm also not gonna put any gloves on Cap right here, just because it's easier to get away with actually. You know what? I'm gonna use the same trick for Cap and his shield. So I'm just gonna go over here, big circle, smaller circle, smaller circle, smallest circle, I think is how that works. Let me actually check. I'm just gonna zoom out here. So I'm just gonna swipe on over to check out. Hi Twily Flash, what's up? Okay. Captain America shield. 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth circle is where the star is. Let's see what we've got here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, that's close enough. And then I can take this and this. Alrighty. Hold on. Gotta select just this one. You know what? 10 would have been good. Alrighty, there we go. Alright, now to add the hands. Here we go, 1, 2, and then I'm actually gonna split this finger there, erase that line, so there's his hand, and then I'm not actually sure what his armor is supposed to look like. Hold on, let me check Google Images again. Okay, I'm gonna go with the more cartoony design here. So there's a little bit of a star there. And then on his shoulders there's those strap things, and I'm not even going to draw the mask on him, just because it's easier this way. So there's that white stripe on that shoulder and this shoulder. Here's his nose and his eyes. This is a very generic looking Captain America. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna have his suit cut off there. And then, hair like this is a pain. It's okay. Obviously, the solution here is that I should just get better at this stuff. Alright. Eyebrows, that's what was missing. He's not the Mona Lisa. He's supposed to have eyebrows. Alright, let me check my reference image again. That was not what I wanted to do, computer. His shield is covering his belt in that one, but not in this one. Okay. I know what I want to do. He's got this utility belt here. And then I'm just going to give it a standard circular belt buckle. And there's the other side of the utility belt. And then he's got stripes going down. I don't really care how many at this point. And then there's that. And then I can select in here. Never mind, I can't select in here because it is not closed. It's weird because your brain thinks of some things as closed and then the computer doesn't, but then your brain thinks of other things as open. But you go to fill them in and your computer is like, but that's a closed line. And you realize, oh yes, it is. Alright, let me take one more look at my reference. Come on, scoot. There we go. Yeah, I'm keeping the more cartoony design. Alright, so I can merge this down and they should be all ready to go. And now I can just fill them in. Unless his gloves were supposed to have a pattern on them that I missed. Which they might have. I did not fill in the sweater. Okay. So I just gotta fill this in. So how's everybody doing? Just checking up on y'all. Thanks for bearing with me. I know this has been disappointing, probably. Alright, there's the sweater. Here's that. I can probably use the same off-white for his gloves. Blue pants. Yellow vest. Alright, and then for cap, let's find a nice set of red, white, and blue, and then look at how that shield is supposed to be colored. Come on. Fine. Alright, so he is supposed to have some red gauntlets, and the shield's outer, and that one are red. Okay. And then every other thing in here is supposed to be red. And then I'll use this off-white. And I'm on the wrong layer. That would explain a lot. Alright, so let's try this again. Red, 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 red. And then off-white, off-white. There we go. And then I can probably use the same blue just to make sure that this fits a little more easily. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix this by adding the red gauntlets. At least I think they're gauntlets. They might just be bracers. Yeah, they're gauntlets. I think. It's hard to find a good reference. What's going on in the chat? It's going pretty good. It might have been a motorcycle you heard in the background. I don't know, this stream's been a little weird. But, yeah, I have a lot of noisy neighbors, and they are fond of big trucks and motorcycles, and, I mean, yeah, those things are cool, but it does get annoying from time to time. Not to be a spoilsport or anything. I mean, they're welcome to have their fun. It's just... it interrupts things. Let's go down to a 20 here. And just add this gauntlet here. Then I can go here and erase this. There we go. Alright. Fill that in with red. And then let's see, we'll give him that kind of a skin tone, I guess, and then like a blondish hair color. Blonde is always really hard to draw right, or blonde is hard to get right when drawing, I find. Let's see. I'm just going to reuse this off-white. And then fill in the blue eyes there. And then we'll give him some highlights. And I forgot to color in Goofy's shield. So, just a few minutes more, There we go. Okay, his is blue with Mickey Mouse in black, and then there's an extra ring of gold in there that I forgot to draw. That is okay, but it should probably be a lighter, more steely blue. I'm gonna go under here so that when I draw in the gold, hold on. It doesn't cover the Mickey Mouse symbol. And then if I hit protect alpha here, I can do this. And let me just check back with my reference to be sure. I could have colored the outside of the shield in gold too. I'll just add another gold ring on the blue here, because it was really more important that I got the exact shape of the Mickey Mouse thing. There we go. Alright, that should look better. Now I'll just throw in a simple gradient background after I fill in Goofy's mouth. There we go. And delete that. And then let's go with a nice kind of sky blue gradient for the background. Circular, foreground, background. There we go. Alrighty. I do believe that is the end of this stream. Have a nice rest of your night or afternoon or whatever time it is where you live. I'm 6 minutes over my usual time, so I'm just gonna scoot over here and get back to the starting screen and wish you all a good night. And I'll see you next week. Bye!